Hey, sis, welcome back to the channel. I hope that everyone is having a wonderful Sunday evening. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. So, Cher's son, Elijah Blue Allman, was hospitalized after an OD in California this weekend. Sources familiar with the situation tell TMZ that the son of Cher and the late Greg Allman was rushed to the hospital in Joshua Tree, California after ODing earlier Saturday morning. We don't know what illegal substances, period, that he was using. We're told that he is still in the hospital and receiving the best care possible, and that he's very, very lucky to have survived the incident. Elijah has detailed his struggle with substance abuse issues in the past, revealing in a 2014 interview that he had started taking substances when he was just 11 years old. During the interview, Elijah said that he had several close calls with ODing, saying, "I did have some close calls and some moments of really feeling at the edge of mortality. I always kind of kept it a little bit safe, but you can never do that." Remember in 2023, Cher filed a conservatorship to control access to his money, claiming that he was, quote, substantially unable to manage his own financial resources due to severe mental health and substance use issues. The two ultimately settled the conservatorship drama a few months later. So I just wanted to bring you guys this quick story, but I really hope that, he is able to get the help that he needs. The fact that, his mom essentially took him to court and put him in a conservatorship because his father, left him a substantial amount of money. She was really concerned for his well being. I am glad that they settled. It's unfortunate that, this past weekend, he has OD'd once again. And I understand, listen, addiction is something that a lot of people struggle with, especially with just all the really heavy issues that's going on in the world right now. A lot of people feel like they're hanging on by a thread, So I really hope that Cher can get him the help that he needs. I know that's easier said than done. I'm sure he's probably been through rehab before, and it's, as many people say, it's, like a lifetime battle almost. What the good news is, him and his mom, they do have the resources and access to the best facilities in the country or even worldwide if necessary, right? He may have to leave California or leave his surroundings for a while in order to, necessarily get the help and the healing that he may need, or even find a good therapist and unpack, why he's using these substances in the first place, or why he began at such a young age. 11 years old, that's heartbreaking. Now, I understand that, Cher has been an entertainer her entire life, so she might not have been there to give him the care that he needed when he was younger. Who knows, right? People have used a multitude of substances for a multitude of different personal reasons. But like I said, I really hope that he is able to overcome this, because it's something that, like I said, a lot of people struggle with. It's not easy. And, just looking at his like before and after, it's like, wow, that my heart just goes out to him, because I can't even imagine what he's going through, or even what Cher is going through. There's so many young people that come up in the entertainment industry, whether it's them or their parents. Drew Barrymore has talked about uh, her battles with, using substances when she was so young. And in my opinion, I don't know, the more I find out about young child actors or young child stars and entertainers, that he might not, have even been in the limelight, Elijah Blue. But I feel like it's such an unhealthy situation for young people to be in, especially when, you're 11 years old, right? Like that's such a critical time in a young person's life. Like your formative years are, well, from like 2 to 7. Um, and then after that, really until you're about like a teenager, you're still, your personality is forming. And again, you're still not even completely an adult until you're 25. Your brain's not even fully functioning or fully formed, right? Until you're 25. So you're still learning and growing and, trying to make sense of the world around you. And even as an adult, child, we still trying to figure it out ourselves because everything keeps changing, right? That's the one constant in all of our lives is change. People were talking about how jobs that were once, in abundance, are now becoming obsolete because of AI. So many brick and mortar stores are closing. Everything from retail stores to chain restaurants, and there's so many that are filing bankruptcy. And it's just like our world is just constantly changing. So that's a lot with anybody dealing with sober, let alone fighting an addiction to substances. So my heart goes out to him. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that he is, close with his mom, Cher. He's close with, Chaz Bono, who you guys don't know, used to be Chastity, but he changed his name to Chaz after his transformation. And, I know his father has passed away, but like I said, I hope that he's close with his mom. I'm sure that since they did settle the conservatorship, she's not someone that was like trying to do it with, I don't want to say like greed and malicious intent, but I feel like, she had her child's best interest at heart, as opposed to someone like Britney Spears' father, who had her in that conservatorship for what seemed like forever, that was trying to, control her reproductive, you know, um, he had like forced her to use like an IUD, and it was really horrible what they did to Brittany. And free Wendy too. I know that's not the topic of this situation, but Wendy's still in her conservatorship. It's just like that. The conservatorship. The more I find out about that whole situation, the more horrified I am that people want to, control and financially abuse other people. It's really a sickening system, in my opinion. So I'm glad they were able to reach a settlement. Like I said, and I hope that he's willing and open. Elijah Blue is willing and open to working with, a counselor or someone that can help him stay sober, that can help him, use his finances in a way that will help him become a contributing member of society, that will help him leave a legacy that he's proud of, that will, help him positively and not take him out of here. Because that's what, Cher was essentially scared of. She's scared of losing her son. So, you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.